All right. All right.
What you gonna do about it?
What is Past Josh doing to us?
I don't know, but...
Who let him put these in there?
Who let the dogs out?
No, don't start that. Don't you dare start that.
Welcome to the channel, bringing a real-world perspective to the real-world whiskey consumer.
I'm Josh.
And I'm Erin.
And we are back with another completely double-blind head-to-head where we have no idea what is in our glass,
Nope.
but this pair has been drawn at random from our blind sample pool, full of a bunch of bourbon and rye matchups. So this could be almost anything.
Yep.
But we will smell it, taste it, give it a rating, and then we'll find out the price of the products before we find out what we're drinking and see if that changes our rating. This way you get the most honest opinions possible, separate apart from any labels or hype or bias. And Erin says all that real world stuff because we are not whiskey tasting professionals.
No.
We're just regular folks.
Real people.
I'm more of a whiskey nerd. She's more of a experiential whiskey taster, as you might get when you're hanging out with your friends and they're throwing out some wild stuff.
Yeah.
If this is your first time tuning in, that's our vibe over here. If you like that, think about subscribing to the channel. As Erin gets on the nose here with this one, I'll tell you down in the video description below, we have a link to our Patreon if you would like to join our online community where we have all kinds of great people over there. We talk whiskey, we help each other find things, we trade samples, all kinds of good stuff. Also on Patreon, that's where we release our barrel picks. We do virtual tasting events. We do Patreon live streams, all kinds of stuff. It's so many things I can barely remember all the things. And we have some merchandise as well if you want to check out stuffandwhiskey.com. So 'tis the season. Get you some.
Get you some.
As you get this on the nose, what are you getting?
It's very sweet. And that's what's jumping out to me right now is just some sweetness. And for me, I tend to get more on the nose after I've had a sip. So my initial nosing is it's sweet.
Yeah, to me, this is really classic bourbon, right down home plate, cherry vanilla oak or caramel vanilla oak, but it does have a little bit of cherry in there as well, which is a nice little addition of fruit. And I did get a little too deep on that last sniff, and I got a little alcohol vapors, but I'm not going to ding it for that.
When you say cherry, are you thinking like the bright red cherry, or are you thinking like a dark cherry?
I'm thinking like the bright red cocktail cherries, or potentially like a cherry, like the cherry cordials at Christmas, like the cheap chocolate covered cherries.
Is that what they're called? Cherry cordial?
Yeah.
Oh.
Are you just now finding this out?
I never really thought about what they were called. I just thought they were called chocolate covered cherries.
Well, you can cut one of those words out of the sentence or the name by saying cherry cordial.
I thought cordial was a drink. Okay. Anyway, cheers. Whoa.
It's got some proof.
Yeah.
It's got a little kick.
It's very sweet at the end, but there's something at the beginning. Dare I say that stuff that you put down after someone gets sick in school?
Little pink sawdust vibes?
Yeah. At the very beginning of it. And
I don't know about all that.
And then it's not like the worst thing in the world. It's not bad. It's
actually
just,
did kind of like the smell
of that
stuff.
It's just very familiar. It's a very familiar smell that translates to the flavor of this for me at the front end. And then it gets sweet and it's got a nice finish. I like it.
I'm finding it quite sweet throughout the whole experience, and I find it generally pleasant. The first sip there, you can never really trust those first sips because you got to get acclimated to what's in the glass.
Fair, yeah.
And what surprised me about this was the spice and the proof that came through.
Yeah.
Not that it's super spice forward or proof forward, but I just couldn't really tell off the nose if it was going to be what it is, and it is all that and a bag of chips. Taking a sip.
Yeah, everything I got that first sip still translates. It has a little more dryingness on the second sip, as it tends to do for me when I take the second sip.
Yeah.
But it's not bad. It's not overly drying. It doesn't taste like young wood. It's not bitter.
Yeah.
It's just slightly drying.
No, I find it generally sweet, and I'm straight down peanut butter and jelly road with this.
Really? You're getting peanut butter?
Yeah, you know how they have that peanut butter that's like honey peanut butter?
Oh yeah, that's really good.
It's kind of like that. There's like honey, there's peanut butter.
Okay.
And then there's that kind of jammy sweetness in there.
All right.
But like a artificial jelly type of thing. Not like a natural preserves type of vibe, but like more of a sweetness like you would get in a jelly.
Okay.
Yeah, I find that really enjoyable overall. Let's get into glass 2 on the nose and see how it compares.
to me, this smells slightly darker and a little bit more savory. I got butterscotch and bacon on the nose.
I'm not getting any butterscotch even close to, but I am getting a little bit of that earthy, savory type of note to it. It is a little darker, but it's a little fainter on the nose to me too. I'm having to kind of search in this glass to get something.
That for me, I got more on this nose, like specific things on this nose than I did in the first glass.
Really?
I don't know why.
Okay, let's get it on the palate.
I don't know what I just drank.
That's got a kick to it. That's got some proof to it as well.
It tastes smoked.
Ooh, you know what it's giving me? It's giving me like some coffee bean vibes. Like a little bit of like a dark roast coffee. Like you can drink a dark roast coffee and it has like that little bit of bitterness, but not in a bad way. It's like a nice bitterness.
Yeah.
I'm getting that on this. And coming off of the sweetness that was glass 1, it is magnified. That roasted coffee bean kind of bitterness is magnified in glass 2.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm getting like major beef jerky vibes with this.
What kind of beef? Just straight up beef jerky?
Just regular beef jerky.
Now, we have had this conversation on the channel before,
We have.
but it has been a while.
We don't need to resurrect the fact that...
Oh, that's right. Never mind. I got just absolutely beat in the comments. Because I think peppered beef jerky is the best, and Aaron thinks teriyaki is the best.
But on this, I'm getting regular, original beef jerky.
Which I like that, too.
Yeah, it's
Probably better than teriyaki as well. Oh. Just being honest.
Them's fighting words.
All right, let's get another sip of glass 2.
This one is really interesting to me because it reminds me of like an Irish or a Scotch without having peatiness of a Scotch. Like there's something here that reminds me of like maybe a single malt. Maybe I'm going to say this is a single malt whiskey because there's something here that reminds me.
Well, there are no single malt whiskeys in our head-to-head pool. It's bourbon and rye matchups, but maybe it's something that has more malt in the mash bill.
Maybe. There's something about this, and if I'm wrong, that's fine because I don't care. It's whiskey, but there's something about this that makes me think Scotch.
Okay. Is it this? You said something about like smokiness.
Yeah.
What you're reading as that, I'm just reading as barrel char and oak all over this thing. It did come through with like a little bit more of a dark cherry, whereas this was like the brighter cherry note.
Yeah.
This is a little bit more of the dark cherry vibe. This also had a little nuttiness, but a little bit more like a roasted peanut.
Yeah.
Versus this being more like honey peanut butter.
Okay.
So these almost feel similar in some ways. Like they're variations on a theme with the fruit and the nuttiness in both of them. I find them both really enjoyable. I can't wait to spend some time with them. We're going to do that now. Clear our palate, start with the second glass and go back to the first. That can reveal a lot. Always reverse your order when you're doing blinds because you owe it to your palate and you get a few more sips in that way. We'll be right back. All right, that got super interesting for me.
Ooh.
We didn't talk about it.
We didn't.
Where are you at on these two?
So I don't have a lot to say other than glass 2 is my favorite.
Okay.
It has the warmth and it gives me Scotch vibes, and I'm here for it. It gets a thumbs up.
The smoke from the smokiness.
Yeah. And in comparison, glass 1 just didn't hold up, so it gets just okay.
Really?
In comparison to glass 2. Yeah, It's fine, but I just think it's just okay.
Yeah. To me, everything held from the first impressions, but tasting them back and forth, it was really difficult to pick a favorite because, again, they're kind of a variation on the same theme. Just one's a little bit more what I would consider to be maybe well-balanced in glass 1. Like it's got the fruit, it's got the oak, it's got a little bit of everything going on. Whereas glass 2 just leans far more into the dark side. Like this
I like my dark side.
Like this is Anakin and this is Vader. Like that's where we're at. No, Anakin no, spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert, in case you didn't know.
Sorry. Not a huge Star Wars guy. I was trying to work with that, but totally blew that.
Oh man.
Nonetheless, this isn't the light side. I guess this is the light side. This is the dark side. I guess that's what I was going for. All right, we got there. It took us a while. Sorry. Thanks for bearing with me. But yeah, I mean,
I like the dark side then.
I do think that I do prefer glass 1.
You would.
I think it's a little bit more of a complete profile. Glass 2's a little bit more situational for me. I'm going to give both of them a thumbs up.
That's fair.
I did think about going 2 thumbs up on both of them.
Wow.
And I thought I was leaning a little bit more towards that on Glass 1, but we don't do 1.5. You got to you got to commit to 2 thumbs up and put yourself out there on that limb, or you got to just stick at 1 thumbs up. These are both going to be firm thumbs up for me. I like them both a lot. I would love to have bottles of these around. Hopefully we do have bottles of these around.
Let's see what we got here.
So we'll find out price first and see if that changes our ratings. Glass number 1, you're just okay, and I'm thumbs up. What is the price on glass number 1?
$200.
Yowza. I'm not surprised. It tastes really good. Ooh, okay, what's the price on glass number 2?
Not much better. $160.
Wow. Wow. 200 and 160?
Yeah.
Is it fair to say you're going to go to just okay on both of them, or are you going thumbs down?
I'm not going thumbs down. They're good. Both of them are good. So I'm not going to go thumbs down. I'm going to go just okay on both of them though, because of the value, the price. I do really like Glass 2. I like what it's bringing to the table, but at $160, I think for me, I can pass on that. So it's getting just okay. I don't have to have it. If I get an opportunity to buy it at a bar, I would. Like to get a pour of it at a bar, I would. So it's not a thumbs down. It's a just okay.
Yeah, I mean, realistically speaking, thumbs up means we like it and we would like to have a bottle of it. Just okay means we might like it, but we don't know if we would actually buy a bottle of it or not. And then those prices, I'm kind of in that lane.
Yeah.
You know, so I feel like I want to stay thumbs up because I do enjoy both of them. And I think they have a lot more to offer than typical things on the shelf. Right. But
without knowing what either of these are, if you had the money, would you buy one of these bottles?
That's what I'm saying. I would be on the fence about it. I would have to hem and haw about it a little bit.
I think you have to go to just okay then.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I think I do. Okay, I'm going to go just okay on both. You're just okay on both. That's where we landed. Glass number 1, my preference of the two is
4-Gate Kelvin Collab 4, batch 4.
Whoa, okay. That makes sense. What's glass number 2?
Michters Fort Nelson Reserve.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I don't know anything about either of those.
All right.
So cool.
So I believe both of these samples are from Bill Kavanaugh. So thank you, Bill.
Yeah, it doesn't say.
Bill and Delia, thank you guys for these. So the reason I put this in here is because 4-Gate is findable.
Okay.
And Michters, if you're in Louisville and you're there and they're doing the bottle your own bourbon experience, that's what the Fort Nelson Reserve is. It's where you go fill your own bottle of Michters bourbon. Fantastic experience.
So you can only get the Michters Fort Nelson at Michters.
Yeah, at the Fort Nelson Distillery in downtown Louisville. This is a very, very good pour. The fruitiness and the balance of 4-Gate Kelvin 4, which a lot of people consider to be one of the best whiskeys that's come out in the last few years. That one is like, I mean, $200, but you could find these Kelvin collaboration releases.
Okay.
So I wanted to kind of pair something that may be hard to find against something that you could find, both high price. I wanted to see if either of them blew us away. I will say, I personally have liked other Kelvin collaborations better than 4.
Which ones?
Well, I think 5, honestly. I think I prefer 5 to 4 because this is a bourbon rye blend that's been finished in some other stuff.
Okay.
And I don't tend to like the bur rye blends as much as just straight bourbons or straight ryes.
Fair.
Personally speaking. That's just my opinion. I know a lot of people think 4 is drastically better than 5 or 3. I just don't love bur ryes.
It's a personal preference, yeah.
Right. But, I mean, again, they were very good. They did bring something extra to the table.
Yep.
But when push came to shove and we didn't know what we were drinking, those price tags did make us balk a little bit.
A little bit.
So,
a little bit.
Hopefully you can glean something from that. If you got them pockets like that, then go ahead and get both of them by all means. That's going to be it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching. Again, like, subscribe if you like this style of content. Hit that bell if you want to join us for a live stream. We do them once a month over on YouTube and would love for you to join us.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
That's it for today. Be good to each other, and until next time, cheers.